Okay. Whew. Ooh. You are not facing me. There we go. I am warm. Alright. Put Z phone on silent. Yes. Okay. It is 7:52. If you guys can like see that. I'm going to try to get this video filmed before the sun goes down. Because Kayla is a procrastinating ass bitch. This video, I decided that I wanted to do kind of like a funny story time because I have been telling quite a few people about the story and they always crack up when I tell them that. So I decided I wanted to tell you guys, and it is the first time that I have ever gotten pulled over. Also, if you guys don't know, I just got my brand new car. Before, I drove my dad's old car, which was a 98 Jeep, and now I got a Volvo, which I'm like in love with. I absolutely adore my car. It is so cute, so sweet, so pretty. And I got it because my sister had got a new car, so she said I can have it. So I was very, very happy to have like a sports car as my first car. Like, come on now. That's pretty sweet. Story is, like I said before, about the first time that I have ever gotten pulled over. Comment down below if this has ever happened to you guys. Otherwise, I think this is an insanely long intro. Let's get started. So I want to say like a week ago. This is very, very recent. I was out around like 2 a.m. just driving around with my friends because that's just some things that we do. When I'm stressed out or really anxious and stuff, I like to just go for a drive, clear my head, listen to some like in your feeling type music, you know, just really be by yourself. So I decided that I was going to go. I went, I picked up my friend. She was like, hey, let's go. Like, I'll totally be down for a drive. We can talk, discuss our feelings, yada, yada, yada. So I'm driving around town. We park over by the lake. We're talking. It's about 1, almost 2 a.m. in the morning. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and drop you off at home. Then I'm going to go home because I had to go to work the next morning. And it was like 2:30. So I'm like, okay, it's time to go home. So I drop her off. And as I turn from her street to get back towards my house, because we live fairly close together, you have to go across this like 5-lane road. So I'm like, okay, I'm turning. And on one side of me, which is kind of unrelated to the story, but whatever. On one side of me, there's like this really, really weird drunk guy hanging off of the window. And the other side of me is like super hood, ghetto, gangster type dude. And both of them are trying to like catcall at me and holler at me. And I'm like, oh, put on my visors. I don't see you, man. And I'm just trying to get away. So as soon as the light turns green, I don't take off, but I definitely try to get away as fast as possible. Once I'm a good enough distance, I slow back down to the speed limit, and I'm just cruising, okay? I got Ariana Grande on, I'm singing along, like, I'm just feeling myself. I'm just, like, in my feelings. So, if you guys, which you probably won't know, I'm gonna say if you guys didn't know, but if you're, like, close friends of mine or whatever, and you've been in the car with me before, you would know that my headlight is out. Like, NBD, it's just out. It's something that I'm aware of. It's something that I have to get fixed. I just haven't really, had the time to get it done, I guess. Which, again, I'm a procrastinating ass bitch. Like, I wait till the last minute to do everything physically possible. So, I'm like, okay, let's go, whatever. I'm almost home. My friend lives, 7 to 8 minutes away from me. Without traffic. With traffic, it's 10. So I'm like, okay, you're almost home. It's fine. No big problem. No deal. What? No big deal. No problem. So I'm driving home, and there's this black SUV driving behind me. And I'm just like, okay, this car has been following me for a while. And I'm one of those, super paranoid people that even if you're only following me down, a block, I think you're trying to, come to my house and murder my family. I don't know why I am. I just am like that. I think the worst of every situation. My anxiety will flare the heck up because I think everybody's trying to kill me. So this car is following me, and they have their brights on. And usually you're not supposed to have your brights on if there's other vehicles on the road. Now, if you're on a deserted road, it's fine, it's whatever. There's a lot of trees and stuff, not a lot of street lights. Sure, turn it on. But if there's another vehicle coming towards you or is in front of you, do not turn on your brights because you physically cannot see. It can blind the other driver, which people in Wisconsin can't seem to grasp that concept. So this car behind me has on their brights, and as a sort of rule to let them know, like, hey, can you turn it off, you're supposed to flick your brights twice. So I flick my brights, and I'm like, okay, like, turn it off, please, I can't see, and they keep it on, and I'm like, okay, that's rude. So I keep driving, and, like, I switch lanes, and then the other car switches lanes, and I'm like, okay. And I go to turn towards my house, and there's, like, this new development and stuff towards my house. So I go to turn towards my house, and the car turns. And I'm like, all right, so either there's, like, somebody who's literally trying to kill me, or I have a police officer behind me. So I turn again, and the car turns. And then I turn one more time, and then I just see the red and blue lights flashing in my, like, rearview mirror. And I'm like, oh, my God. Like, oh. Here we go. This is how I die. This is how Kayla ends her life. She gets pulled over by the cops and dies. Like, not even trying to make a joke on, like, police brutality. I legitimately thought that was the end. So I start freaking out. I'm, like, shaking. I'm hyperventilating. I'm, like, near tears, which I know it might sound so dramatic, but I am one of those people, one, I don't like being in trouble for reasons I don't know why, and two, I try to avoid police officers at all costs. I hate talking to cops. Like, when there was, like, fights at high school and stuff, and I would bear witness, we'd have to talk to the cops, and there was only one police officer I talked to at school. His name was Corey. Shout out to you, Corey, because he was the only one that I thought was, like, chill. Otherwise, I do not fucks with cops. I just don't. I try to avoid them at all costs. So this police officer comes up and he flashes his lights into my window, and I roll my window down, and he's like, do you know why we pulled you over, ma'am? And I'm like, no, officer, like, I don't, like, I'm so sorry. I look up at him, and he's like, well, my name is Deputy blah, blah, blah. Or sheriff blah blah blah, and I work at the sheriff's department blah blah blah. And I'm like, holy Jesus, I just got pulled over by the sheriff. What? The sheriff. Like, my heart said, like, it just stopped. It was dead. It was done. And then it came back up and was like the little voice in my head, which I'm not, like, crazy, but the little voice in my head's like, damn, bitch, you fucked up. So I'm, like, trying to explain to the officer. He's like, did you know your headlights up? I'm like, yes, officer, I did. Like, me and my dad were just talking about it. Like, I'm so sorry. No. Like, crying, shaking, couldn't breathe. I'm, like, telling this man my entire life story. And while I'm talking to the officer, this other cop, the deputy, comes in on my passenger side and is shining his light into my car and, like, checking out the back seat and checking the passenger seat and just looking. And I don't know what they were looking for. Like, the only thing in my back seat is literally clothes. That's all I have in the back seat of my car is clothes. So I'm just, like, freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, please don't arrest me. Like, I can't afford to get a ticket. Like, I'm a broke college student, officer, please. And he's like, I'm going to go run your license. Like, just stay here, blah, blah. I'm like, well, I'm not going to go anywhere. So I'm sitting there and I'm waiting for him. And I'm, like, texting my friend. I'm like, oh, my God, you just pulled me over. Oh, my God, girl, this is the end. I just want you to know that I love you, and tell YouTube I said peace out, and, like, edit and upload my latest video. And she's like, calm down. It's okay. Like, there's nothing to worry about. Blah, blah, blah. So the officer comes back. And he asked me a whole bunch of questions, and I'm like, okay, like, I'm trying to answer, and again, I'm telling him my entire life story. And at this point, the officer is kind of getting frustrated with me. Like, I can totally tell that he's like, oh my God, will you shut up? Because I'm just, like, full out sobbing, okay? I'm like, So then he's like, do you have your insurance card on you? And in my head, I'm like, yeah, sure, like, usually... God, I don't know why I'm so burpy today. But usually I have my insurance card on my phone, and then I have the physical insurance card. And we didn't get the updated insurance card on my phone, so I go to open, like, the seat rest or whatever. You know, you can open those. There's, like, an entire secret compartment. I go to open that and hand him my insurance card, and it's not there. And then I remember we just got the insurance card saying that my car was under my name, and it's sitting at home on my island. Moment of silence because I literally just dug my grave. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, officer, like, I totally have insurance on this car. Like, here's my old insurance card. Like, I can call my mom. I can have her drop it off. Like, please, officer, like, don't give me a ticket. Like, I promise you, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, okay, it's fine. It's fine. Like, just calm down. Because, like, literally, at this point, the officer is just so tired of my shit. He's like, I need you to shut the fuck up before I give you a ticket just for being annoying. Like, that's where he was at with me. So he goes and he's like, you know what? We're not going to give you a ticket today. It's fine. But I need you to get your light fixed and try to get that done as soon as possible. I'm like, okay, officer. Okay. Okay, I promise. Okay. Like, I'm like, thank you so much. Thank you so much, officer. Like, thank you. Thank you for doing your civic duty. Like, you're so, like, I'm kissing his ass. Like, I'm brown-nosing like a mofo. And he's like, all right, go home. So I, like, take off. I turn on my car, put up my window, and I'm going at, like, a snail's pace. Like, I'm literally going, like, 5 miles per hour away from this cop. Where I could have gone the typical speed limit, like, 25 in a residential area. No, I was going, like, 10. I was like, checking every so often to make sure he wasn't following me home. Like, I was just freaking out for no reason. So I get home and I park my car and I go inside and I, like, lay in bed and I'm just like, oh my god, that really just happened to me. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to be like,
oh my god, Kayla, like, you're so overly dramatic. Like, you probably, like, didn't even do half the things you said.
I kid you not. I'm not the type of person to over-dramatize a story. I'm not the type of person to falsificate a story. Literally, all that happened, like, I was that ugly. Like, I was like Kim K crying with this officer. Don't get me wrong. But, yeah, comment down below if anything like that has ever happened to you or anything similar to that has happened to you. Also, guys, we are so close to 500 subscribers. Last I checked, we were at 467, which is only 33 subscribers away from 500. And I would love to be able to reach 500 subscribers by my birthday, which is June 28th. So please grab a friend, grab a cousin, grab a brother, grab a sister, hit that subscribe button down below because it will mean so much to me to hit 500 subscribers by my birthday. Also, if you don't already follow me on social media, I'll have the links to that all down below. And yeah, that is everything I have for you guys. Don't forget that there's going to be daily vlogs. Yeah, you heard me right. Daily vlogs for my entire trip while I'm going, like, in Texas. Because if you didn't know, I'm going to be in Texas for 2 weeks. So stay tuned for that. There will be vlogs coming up on this channel every single day. Yes. 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 Otherwise, that is everything I have for you guys. I love you all. And I'll see you next time. Bye.